And I made a comment, and I said this about both you and DC. I said Stipe and DC would, and I quote, smoke Fedor. Now or in his prime. Okay?
Thank you.
Some of these fans flame me like I was mentally handicapped. They were like, are you fucking crazy? You UFC motherfucker. Can you please break down how right I am? And you're not supposed to say it about yourself, but please break down how right I am, because this is crazy to me.
Well, I won't talk for myself, but I'll talk for DC.
For DC.
But
smart man.
If you look at DC's resume, look at his, his accolades. I mean, dude's an amazing wrestler, first off. Like, I know Fedor was too, but just DC, he's just, I think he's faster. He hits hard. He's smart. And so is Fedor, but I think that DC just has like that, what's the word I'm looking for? But he just has that, like, he's like one step up of everything he would do, because I think he's faster than Fedor. I think he had better wrestling, and I think he was very. One thing about DC, he's a very smart, tactical fighter. He doesn't put himself in harm's way. He knows how to roll with punches. He's smart, and you see something, he goes for it. And so, I definitely believe DC would smoke Fedor. And I'll probably get hate for it, but it is what it is.
What's your take on BMF rematch, Diaz versus Masvidal?
That's what I want to talk about. See, you read my mind. Well, I expressed my sentiments on Twitter yesterday. I don't think it was all that competitive the first time. I don't see why it's going to be all that competitive the second time. I think there's better places they can use him. And, it will sell probably relatively well is what I would guess. But I just think there's someone else you could throw in there for the BMF, and that would be more exciting than Nate.
I agree. The first fight was not competitive. George beat him down. Nate is very tough, but he got battered. And, I wasn't even pissed at that doctor for stopping it, because it was like...
Yeah, it was over.
That's it.
Yeah.
Ariel, I feel as though you asked me that question a lot, and I never take the time to answer, because I feel like it's tongue-in-cheek, and poor Leon, if anybody deserves for something good to happen, it's him. So I feel like we find a way of getting his name out there. But third time's a charm, partner. You've asked me this 3 times. I'm finally going to answer it. Leon Edwards does everything right except make himself interesting. There's another guy in the same weight class that does the same thing. His name is Neil Magny. The only time in a matchmaker's meeting that these guys' name even comes up is when Sean Shelby's flipping through the contract. Oh, hey, we owe this guy a fight. Who should we put him with? Well, let's put him with somebody really hard, because they're a really hard guy, and only a really hard guy is going to do that fight. It appears that both of these gentlemen do a good job of listening to their coaches. They appear to have the skills and the X's and O's of the unified rules down pat. There also appears that there is nobody at a seat at that table that's got their hand in the pot some way for some level of percentage that has any kind of creative control. If you want to have a title fight or a big fight, the first thing you have to be is interesting. Both of those guys are great fighters. They don't bring any interest to the table. Leon Edwards coming out and calling for a fight that anybody that has the sense that God gave Geese knows that he isn't going to get, not only wastes a media opportunity, Ariel, it makes him look like he doesn't have power in this sport. The worst thing you can be in this sport is powerless. The absolute worst thing you could do is call for a shot in front of Sports Center and not get it. How do you not have all those deals done behind the scenes before you come out with the idea and take credit for it being your idea? Both of those guys are missing. I don't blame either of those guys. Somebody is at the table somewhere that doesn't have any kind of creative control. Well, I think... Robbie Lawler, he likes to get inside, Neil, so you've got the long arms. You need to keep him up. We got enough of those guys. Who sits down at the Neil Magny table and comes to something that's interesting? The same person that sits at Leon's table and does it, Ariel. This guy. Nobody.
Hey, Cody, motherfucker. I'm going to take your head off. Motherfucker.
Hey, what do you make of Leon Edwards? Can't get a fight, has won all these fights in a row. seems like the odd man out. You talk about people who ask you for advice. Like if he would ask you for advice, like how do I get in the mix here? What is he doing wrong in your opinion?
Do what he was doing before he started talking. He was just fighting and winning. That doesn't suit him well. You know what I mean? And he used to be a fan of mine. He said, I watched our fights. He was a great champion. And then because he couldn't get the fights, he tried to be with everybody else. And he started trying to talk stuff. One, I'm just jokester anyway. Don't try to talk stuff against me. You're gonna get made fun of. You're gonna look stupid. Two, you can't talk stuff after Masvidal then piece you up in the back. Like in the hood, you got to be muted. You don't punishment until you dignify that. So if I'm Leon Edwards, fight, win. That's it. Don't talk because you're not good at it. And you don't need to. Let your work speak for itself. He's a great fighter. He makes adjustments. You know what I mean? He's a long striker. He's hard to keep down on the ground. And he'll even try to take a wrestler down. You don't have to do anything else because guess what? You're not making pay-per-view. You're not. So what are you talking for? Go out there and fight.
So my first loss. I even said it. I almost wanted to feel what it would be like also to see how I would do with letting go all that weight of the world. Oh, yeah, you're undefeated. You're this, you're this. Like, stop hyping me up so much. Stop gassing me up so much. Like, I don't like that pressure. So now it's gone, and it's like, oh, cool. Like now I can go and be free again in there. And the best time is when I'm free in there and I'm having fun. That's when I'm the most dangerous.
Yeah.
When I'm stressed out and I'm not, and then I'm thinking, I'm in my head, and things are not going right outside of the camp and everything. It's just your mind's not there.